So our next segment is called The Process.
It is.
I love it. And I want to talk about the process of having a baby and transitioning into mommyhood.
Because you did that miracle, some science fiction, make a life type shit.
I did it. Yes. And I literally, for the listeners who don't know, I just had a baby 17 months ago. And yes, that's still...
you are that mom that's like 17 months ago. It's a year and some change, dog.
A year and 5 months. And I don't care. And it's
a year and a half. Let's just say a year and a half.
Because it's still a just. And I did.
17 months ago.
And let me tell you. Once he turns 2, though, I'm not going to be like, my kid is 28 months. I'm not going to be...
I can tell that you are.
No, I'm not.
I can tell that you are.
Literally, after he's a year and a half, I'm going to start saying a year and a half. He's still 15. Or 17. He's still 17 months. So he's a year and 5 months.
He's a year and a half.
He's not 16 months. He's not 18 months yet.
A year and a half is a year and 6 months, right?
Anyway, so my point is the process of transitioning into mommyhood. And a lot of people don't know. I'm the first of our friends who had a baby. And it's just been really crazy because... I feel like I moved to New York 5 years ago.
Right.
And being from LA, I wanted something different. And then being gone for so long. And then honestly, I felt like at the time I was at the climax of my career. Like I felt like I had figured out how to make the money. I had my cute apartment in Manhattan. Like I was living my best life. And then boom, I got pregnant. And it was like, ooh, like, how am I going to do this? What's going to happen? And nobody tells you, like everybody just sees a baby and they think, oh, amazing, what a blessing. Obviously, yes. Alexi is the best thing that has ever happened to me. He is a blessing. What? The best thing. I gave birth to my very best friend.
He's your best.
My best
He's literally friend, your best quality. Your best quality is your baby.
Exactly. My masterpiece. But in the same sense, like I dealt with postpartum for a year. No. I dealt with isolation. Like I had him in New York.
Body changes.
Everything. Like growing up, I was the 6-pack girl.
Not only having him in New York, you did the majority of your pregnancy in New York. So you weren't around your family, your friends,
anybody,
your comfortability, the city that raised you, the city that feels like home.
And I was sick. I was bedridden 80% of the time. So this was somebody.
Your sciatica.
I had worked my whole entire life and then literally had to sit down for a whole year. That was really hard.
And just so you know, this girl has never worn anything outside of a midriff since the age of 13.
Crop tops.
Fine, a crop top.
10 feet snow, it didn't matter where I was.
She has had a 6-pack since she was like 4 and just rode the 6-pack wave out through her adulthood into...
everything.
All the way through your 20s, into pregnancy.
Into pregnancy. And then it was like, aha, let me show you some things, girl. Bring it right back down.
Stretch that tummy out, Jet.
So the transition was tricky. And then it was just like, when you're pregnant, people don't understand. You're going through a physical transition. You're going through a mental transition. You're going through a spiritual transition. It's a miracle of life is happening inside of your body.
Also, what I'm sure is kind of like the contradict. Now a touring DJ, but like at that point you were doing like club spots and just different things around corporate. The city. Yeah, corporate gigs, but just like gigs that were for the most part, like you'd go out, have some drinks, do a set, I
was living my best life, girl.
That came to a crashing halt.
I was the wildest right before I got pregnant.
I remember you well. I remember you well.
Honestly, I still to this day feel like God was like,
slow her down. Just like when I tried to come through the window. Exactly. And God said, just because Bren can't come through the window doesn't mean I can't come through the window.
Exactly. So it was a hard situation. And at that point in time, it was just like, even after having Alexi, like I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I had been in music my whole life. And I, at that time, didn't even hear music. I didn't even hear God. I didn't have a purpose. Imagine walking around on this earth and not hearing God and not knowing what your purpose was. Like,
no, that's not, I couldn't imagine that. But at the same time, think about like how amazing it feels to know that you'll never wake up a day without not knowing your purpose.
But no, you don't know. Because it
Alexi.
Well, yeah, Alexi is always my purpose. But at the same time, too, I mean for myself. Like,
no, I know. But now it's like,
and that
we
was
out
hard.
here.
And then also, too, being the first friend, a lot of you guys didn't understand. Like, you were sympathetic, but you couldn't relate. You know? So it was like, even to this day, like now
we still can't relate.
Now I've got it down, though. Like, I've got it down. Like, now I got my nanny, I got my mom, I got my village. Like,
you got your mommy friends, you got your friends, you got your,
so that helps. But before it was like, random, let's go out. All of our friends are socialites. Let's go to dinner. Let's go to catch. Let's go to whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, I got to pump. Ooh, I got to find a babysitter. Ooh, I need like 5 hours. But these plans come 30 minutes before you get a group chat. Right. And you're like, everybody's like,
are you coming or no?
Yeah. And it's just like, damn, that was hard. Like, that was a really hard process.
Now we're also old and our schedules are so crazy that we kind of have to give each other more like ahead of time notice.
But it still doesn't happen.
You think so?
That's what I was going through during my break. After having Alexi, it was literally like, guys, like I need at least 2 hours to pump. I need to find a babysitter. I need a whole situation. I got to put my kid to bed. Like,
yeah,
I got to do a whole thing. And everybody was like, well, girl, we will
see you later.
And that was lonely, you know? So that was tricky.
I got you.
But now moving forward, like I said, I've got you. After a while, you get in the rhythm of things. Like I'm touring again. I've been in the last 6 months, I've been to London, Australia. I did all the festivals this year. I've been all around the world. I've DJ'd most of the most important places in LA. And I'm like looking back at my life and I'm like, wow, like just to think, well, not even now what, but just to think a year ago, I didn't even think.
You were still trying to put your finger on it.
Bitch, I thought I was going to go back to school and be a psychologist.
Well, I'm here to tell you you're not.
I'm really good at giving
Your theories
advice.
are a fool. Your theories are literally based on just like your own opinion in the moment.
Well, to each his own, girl.
You did that. Because let me just also inform our listeners. This sweet, intelligent, beautiful woman sitting to the right of me absolutely has. She butchers every common quote known to man, regardless of what it is. So to each his own. What did you tell me to each his own was before?
I don't remember.
It's so good though. I wish that I had like
something
an example. It was like when my ex-boyfriend moved across the country and you told me that absence makes the heart grow longer.
Well,
it's so good.
You got the point. You got the point though.
You just pick another word that sounds like the word that really it is.
You knew it though.
I did.
You did. You understood what I was saying. So yeah. So that's my process.
Wow. I mean, I guess my process is I don't know. It's kind of like a lonelier situation just because it's
morbid?
like, I mean, I like for shit to be morbid.
Yeah.
So, I like dark things.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, not necessarily like morbid and grim, but it's like very isolating. I'm a writer, obviously. So everything I do is kind of just like by myself. That's why I'm kind of like, I want to get in a writer's room. Like I want to like bounce things off, you know, like I miss kind of just like the camaraderie and like the idea bouncing and the brainstorming and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on my second book and it's just isolating, you know, like I'm trying to get it done so that I can put it out earlier in the year opposed to later because I didn't.
First quarter, is that what you're aiming for?
I'm talking to my publishers about February.
What's that process like though, writing and?
It is draining. You're just kind of like, you want some help, Ma? You want some help putting your charger in your computer? It's just, I mean, it's time consuming. You know, you have to throw several hours at it. And we have the kind of friends who, when they hit us up, or even just like my freelance clients, because I also do a ton of like contributing writing for freelance clients and stuff like that. And when they hit me up and I'm just like, oh, I'm writing, they'll call me back in 2 hours like, hey, are you done? And it's like, this is more of like a 17-hour situation that I'm doing right now. You know, like I have to put several hours in. I mean, the second book is a novel. The first one was a collection of contemporary poetry. So it's a lot more time consuming.
Love Letters and Lighter Fluid.
My first book. Yeah, Love Letters and Lighter Fluid. It is available in Barnes & Noble and Amazon and Google Books, wherever you buy books, Kindle, whatever you're into, buy my first book. I'm super excited to put my second book out, but I'm also working on this script that I have been working on for the past year and a half, and it's also draining. So for me, it's just like a lot of time alone. That's why I'm obsessed with you guys, because I need the yous and the joeys and the cruchies and the feffis and I need the people that are my friends to pull me out of my cocoon, because I will just stay in it.
And it's unhealthy.
You know?
Yeah. But it's probably kind of cool too to be able to do that. It's like hibernating like a bear. You know what I mean?
Well, that's me. I feel like, and everybody always kind of like reads me as such like an extrovert. And if I was describing myself, I would always describe myself as an introvert because I've never viewed myself in that way. But when I'm with people, I can be social and extroverted, but I give so much of myself and so much energy that after it's over, I need to introvert and hibernate for like double the time, you know, like I need to pour back into the cup and just like.
Well, it's just because your energy is so vibrant and so good.
I'm a lot.
I'm a lot. It's fun though, but I can imagine it taking so much. So
No,
then you have to
it's
go back
draining.
in and fill your cup back
Exactly.
up.
Exactly. I mean, the duality of that, but I love writing and I love words. And I mean, it's the only thing I could imagine myself doing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're definitely born for this, bitch. Like,
I better be, because, you know, like you think twice about it sometimes and it's scary.